Is the Edmonton real estate market really booming? Well, you're going to want to watch this video because that's what we're going to talk about. Hi, this is Melody Wilson with the RELIFE team at RE/MAX Elite, and I'm going to talk to you today about what on earth is going on with Edmonton's real estate market. You've been hearing all this buzz about no inventory, houses are hard to find like they were it was hard to find toilet paper last year. Is this actually true, or is it all just hype? Are we just all hyping up the market? Well, I'm here to tell you this is actual fact. We're going to talk today about what happened in the month of February in 2021 and let you know why everything is going so quickly. So in February, there was 2,100 active listings. That's a pretty low number, but that number alone doesn't stand on its own. You have to take a look at how many properties sold. So last month in February, 655 properties sold. That is an increase of 49% from last year in sales. And we did increase from the month before as well. This is absolutely crazy. February is never usually this busy. And the fact that we had a little bit of a warm spell in January, and of course we had that little cold spell in February, the sales did not go into sub-zero temperatures when we had sub-zero, minus 30, minus 40 temperatures. So why is all this happening? Everyone's asking why people are buying. Aren't people losing their jobs? Isn't there so much uncertainty in the world? Why on earth are people buying houses right now? Well, I'll tell you this, the interest rates were under 2% in February, unlike they are right now. Now, right now is still a very low 2.09%, so there's nothing to laugh about there. But the interest rates were so low in February. There's a lot of demand of people who were trying to buy homes last year that couldn't find anything and just jumping on properties right away. Now, when people are buying homes, they're not necessarily moving in within 30 days. A lot of them are moving in 60, 90 days because there's a lot of sellers who haven't found a home themselves and want that time to be able to find a home. So if you're thinking about selling and thinking, I can't move out so quick, you don't have to worry about that. We've written some offers in February that don't have possession until June. So you definitely have the ability to make what you want, not just with price, but also the flexibility of possession date. So no big surprise, the average days on market has dropped to 48 days on market. So we've dropped month over month and year over year, and this obviously includes the properties that were on the market for over 100, 200, 300 days, all the way to the ones that sell within 1 day, 2 days, 7 days. What we're seeing is offers with less conditions, tighter condition timelines. Tighter just means shorter timelines. So what does that mean for you as a buyer? To be competitive, make sure you have that mortgage approval. Not only that, make sure that your agent and your mortgage broker are talking, because I'm able to make sure with the mortgage broker how tight of a timeline we can do to make your offer more favorable and the one seller is going to choose. You're also going to have to make a decision pretty quick, and I'm not talking, you can sleep on it overnight. You actually need to make that decision within seeing the property, if not within an hour or two. I know this seems really rushed, but if you want that home and you don't want to be in multiple offers, that's usually the best course of action, and we've seen that prove successful for our clients so far. Now, we are still finding homes off the market before they hit it, but it's March, and a lot of listings are now coming on the market. They've been waiting for March and April to come, and so now is the time to start acting. And as a seller, it's definitely a time to hurry up and get your house on the market, to grab all those buyers that are really interested in buying, not just right away, but they just want to sort that out before summer happens, because there's a lot of anticipation that people can just get out there and do things in the summertime other than house shopping. So no big surprise that the most popular price point is between the $300,000 to $400,000 price point. The next one is 4 to 5. When you look over 500,000, the price drops, or the chances of selling drops substantially, because the number of sales over 500 is quite a bit lower. There is luxury market sales happening. So far in 2021, we've already had in the first 2 months 3 sales over $1.5 to $2 million. So your odds of selling as a seller have gone up a lot. We are now sitting over 30% absorption rate. In past years, you've been sitting at the 18-15% mark for chances of selling. So this is a really great time to sell your property. Can you sell your home for $50,000 more? Absolutely not. We're not Vancouver or Toronto. Something to think about too is when you do price your home, I talk to a lot of sellers about, if there's such a high demand, why can we ask for more money? You gotta be really careful with this market. If you price too high, you're still gonna have those homes sit on the market. I've seen them and I've shown them. Those houses asked for too much, they were being too overzealous, then they lowered their price, and they lost out on the people that were actually interested in buying their home. If we price your home just right or a little bit lower than market value, you're going to end up getting a ton of activity on your home, which is what we want. We want to get an offer. We want to get multiple offers. Multiple offers are the thing that sellers want. So if sellers don't get the multiple offer, you have a lower chance of getting the price you want, lower chance of getting the conditions and the flexibility on the possession date that you want. So realistically, the best thing to do is price it just right. That's why it's so important to get a professional opinion on the home price. As a home seller, sometimes we get a little too emotionally attached to our home and thinking it's worth more than it actually is. Realtors are really good at making sure that you get market value. And of course, we all want to make sure that your house sells for more, but we got strategies in place to do that. So no big surprise that the average price of homes went up from month over month, a little bit down from year over year, but I anticipate that this $446,000 average price will continue to rise as we continue to go on to the months. Now, are they going to go up to the point where it's like $20,000 higher by the end of the year? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But I do tell you this, as a buyer, an average price home is typically in the newer areas, a 2-story, move-in ready, 1,800 to 2,000 square foot home, probably a little bit smaller, 1,800 or 1,600. So if you're buying a home in the $400,000 price range, the average price means to you that you're going to be getting something a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit older, maybe a different style. If you're looking in the older areas, that price point is usually the average of 1,000, 1,100 to 1,200 square foot bungalow that's move-in ready. Again, if you're looking a bit lower, keep in mind you might have a smaller home or you might have things to do in the house a little bit more than that move-in ready home. So spring market, March Madness, it's happening right now. It is a very busy market, and if you're tossing around the idea of selling maybe this year, maybe next year, you need to talk to a professional. Don't use the city assessed value. That is the wrong way to property price your home. It is not correct. It could be too high and it actually could be too low. So you want to get a professional opinion to make your decision on what you want to do with those investment properties that you've been thinking about getting rid of, or the house that you've been thinking of upgrading. Make sure you find out what the property is actually worth, and make sure you talk to me so we can figure out a strategy if it actually makes sense for you to move. If you bought your home in the last 5 years, this message isn't for you. Typically, when you own a home, you want to stay in your home for at least 5 years to build up equity. Our market is not a boom market like it was in 2007 where it just like overnight went crazy. It's definitely not there, but it has recovered. So for those of you who've gotten a price value in the last 5 years and have been disappointed in the value and you've owned your home for 10, 12 years, make sure you check in with me because I bet you the prices have changed more to your favor, more in your advantage to actually be able to move up now, or time to just liquidate those investment properties. Don't wait for another year or two. We obviously don't know what's happening next year, but we do see lots of signs of recovery. So if this March Madness is something you want to join in on, or you just want to ask me some questions, make sure to give me a call. There's a phone number there, and also just to shoot a comment if you have any questions. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next month.